It really is something out of a TV show. It definitely seems like it. Your flight was meant to land in New York. A loud noise happens, and all of a sudden, you're making an emergency landing on a remote island in the North Atlantic. That is exactly what happened to Delta Flight 127 with 282 passengers and 13 crew members on board, leading to a more than 31-hour delay.
Thank you, everyone. And once again, we are so sorry about this whole fiasco. That was unfun for everyone. Thanks, guys.
Here with us now, Marcus Viscardi, one of the passengers on that flight. Marcus, good morning. I can't imagine. I appreciate your time. From what I understand, you were about 3 hours into the flight when you heard this loud bang, which is terrifying enough. Walk us through what happened next.
Yeah, so we heard this loud bang on the left side of the plane, and you immediately knew something was wrong. So people were sort of looking around and like, "Did you hear that? What's going on?" And then it was about 10 minutes or so before a flight attendant got onto the loudspeaker to say, "We heard what you heard. We are looking into what has happened." The pilot just woke up from his nap, and we're going to figure out what happened and come back to you with some updates. And then
I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. Did those updates ever come?
Yeah, about 10 minutes later, the pilot got on to the intercom to say, "We have had engine failure in the left engine. We will be making an emergency landing in the Azores, Portugal, on a military base in about an hour and 45 minutes.
You get this information, and I understand you shared an image of your vital signs as all of this is happening. What were you feeling in that moment when your stress, understandably, really spiked? What were other passengers saying and feeling? Look at that. That's a lot of stress, and I get why.
Yeah, I was wearing one of those vital rings, and in the moment you just don't know what you don't know. So immediately you have a reaction. You don't know what is happening. Obviously, information for everyone, including the flight attendants, is lacking at that time. So you immediately go to kind of the worst case scenario. You hear engine failure, and you don't see a really great outcome. I'm not an aviation expert. I don't know what can happen. Apparently commercial airlines are designed to fly on one engine for a period of time. I didn't know that. So you go to a dark place, and I was with my husband. We were traveling with some friends. So we were doing the best that we could to comfort one another. Other passengers around were crying. They were praying. There were people that were sort of shouting, like, "Give us an update. What's going on?" So there was a bit of panic in that moment.
I completely can see how that would happen. Do you have a message to the crew and the pilots who got you through this this terrifying ordeal?
Yeah, I mean, thank you from the bottom of all of our hearts. They did the best that they could to keep everyone calm. They portrayed calm themselves, these are the types of emergency situations that they train for and hopefully never have to experience. So they got us on the ground safely, which is, of course, we're so grateful.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a priority for everyone there.
Absolutely.
We have reached out to Delta. They have not responded to us just yet. The airline did give a statement to some outlets. They say, in part, they apologize for the experience and, of course, the delay. What's your message to the airline after that lengthy 31-hour delay? I have no doubt that area in Portugal is beautiful, but maybe not under these circumstances.
Exactly. We recognize that Delta and certainly the flight crew did everything they could in the moment. So thank you for, getting us all there safely. I think we've all learned quite a bit in terms of how the communication flows after an emergency like this. So, given what happened, given the resources that they had, we recognize that they did the best they could in the situation in flight. And we're just so thankful that we all made it safely.
Yeah, Mark, we're thankful for the same thing. Thank you for coming on this morning, sharing your story. I'm so glad you're okay. Marc Viscardi, we appreciate it. Oh, wait, one more thing. Are you going to travel anytime soon? Are you a little nervous to get on a plane?
I travel a lot for work. We travel a lot for pleasure. We're on a flight next Friday.
Okay.
So we're right back at it.
I love that. All right. Thank you again, Mark. Safe travels.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.